Start.
Yes, ma. Without losing time.
So what is it we are doing today?
U for BSc.
Yes. So whether it's for BSc or for Bales, whatever, it is the fifth subclass, and it is now we have entered. We have done the womb. We have done the oral, and now we are doing the anal. Also, we've done Malfig Yales. Now we are starting early childhood. With Malfig we already started, and now we are doing the euphorbials. It's a very small group, but very interesting. And so many of the remedies we know. So we will be so shocked to know that there are so many dimensions to this remedy. Yes. So that is euphorbials. So this looks like one flower, but they are not one flower. There are many conjoined things, the male and female convolute, as we will see. So Dr. Nirupama very kindly did the generals last time, if you all remember. And so this is from the schema book, U4BAC. What is the basic sensation is tied and untied. So they all the time feel bound, unbound, hidebound. And that is their sensation. The passive reaction is that they are tied and they cannot do anything. What do they want to do? They want to break free. And the compensation is person who's free, unbound, not tied up. That is how they want it to. And we have many remedies in this group. And if we see again in the miasmatic way, then we have the acute remedy croton take. Typhoid, we have Mancinella. You remember we did a lovely case of Mancinella last time. Dr. Anita Bajaj had shared a very nice case. So we'll find that we have lots of things which are common to many of these remedies. Then we have tuberculosum, the Acalipha, and we have Euphobium in the cancer miasm, Leprosis hura, and we have Stelline. So what are the remedies we are going to do today? Are the Acalipha. We are going to do proton take. We are going to do hura, and we are going to do remedy Euphobium. So 4 remedies we are doing today, and we are going to do some cases in it, and very interesting cases. So it's going to be really nice. I really enjoyed doing this, and we can use all of it because we are using already 2-3 of these remedies we are using, and we learn much more uses. So we have the Indian Acalipha indica. It's called Acal. So you have, it is called the Indian nettle or a 3-seeded mercury or the Indian mercury, and they are big round leaves. They are also called copper leaves. And the family, as we know, is Oxyphobias. So the medicinal uses already they were used. We are not talking about just homeopathic. Rheumatoid arthritis, for ringworm, for scabies, for asthma, for pneumonia. The leaf was cracked and used for maggot-infested wounds. And it was used as a remedy for TB and hemoptysis. And so it is the tuberculous because of the bleeding. The symptoms, affinities to the mucous membrane and the respiratory system lot, discharges, it is very fiery, okay? So it is intense fiery quality, and therefore you have burning in the chest, You have violent night coughs. You have bloody expectoration. The tubercular cough is retching and hard. And in asthma, it is like constriction, contracting, because it comes in touch with the other. It doesn't want to come in touch with the other. So we are talking about a caliphate, tubercular miasm. We know that it is very hectic. Tubercular, we know from beginning, even when we were studying the 3 or the 4 miasm. The 4 miasm, it is very hectic pace. All the fevers, all the bleeding, all belong to the tubercular miasm. And that kind of theory still continues, our understanding. So the symptoms, hemoptysis of the lungs, then rectal hemorrhages, burning sensation in the stomach, and the hemorrhages. Remember this picture. And the rheumatism with the stiffness of the joints. What are the emotions? Now, this much we can understand, it has already been used. But this much mind also it has, we didn't know. Dejected, depressed, and die. It is dejected, it's very depressed, but it doesn't want to die. It does. People at that stage of depression may say they want to die, but you know, this is tubercular miasm. Tubercular miasm is always hopeful, doesn't want to die, but they always die early. You know, from other things in history also. So many of the authors, writers, Bronte sisters, all belong to the tubercular miasm. They all died by 35, but they achieved a lot before. So this is a little different because it is the UPPSC, but still the miasm characters remain. So if you get the subclass and you get the miasm and you get even the inner age, then we can come to the remedy. That is the beauty of doing this study. It's really, really nice. It helps us to find remedies for patients which we would not have found earlier. So there is this whole idea that there is a danger from the outside. They don't want to come in contact with the outside because this is the column where you come from mother's loving feminine heart to the masculine, and where you have to go out and meet the outside world. But they don't want to. They feel there is danger from it. Thus, they avoid bad news. They hate to have bad news. So they don't want any news. They say, don't know. Yesterday, a patient was telling me, sorry, not a patient, a friend. Everybody is not your patient. A friend was telling me that her father, who is a very learned and used to be quite here, Bombay, very famous man. So she said that he just, if you want to talk, and when I got divorced, he was so shocked because he had never known that there was a problem. He never knows. He discusses politics with you, discusses this, that, reading books, everything. But if you want to tell him emotion, he'll just say, I don't want to know. So he lives in this world of, where he's doing good and he's achieving a lot and he's helping people, but he doesn't want to know anything bad. So when the daughter got divorced, he was very shocked because he didn't know anything. But when she got divorced, he had to know, so that he knew, and he was shocked. Okay. So how people avoid bad news. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. The energy that they have is in the process of becoming hard. We call emotional hard. Mind becomes strict. And the unprocessed emotion, they are not processing them. To get over your sadness, you have to process, deal with it, and then come out. So that leads to sadness and lung pathology. We know that the lung and emotions are very connected. So the issues are the boundary issues, all the boundaries which are being penetrated. So they are expressed at the level of the blood vessel, the liver, and the lung. So liver affinity gives you jaundice, also purulent fermentation. So again fiery, again tubercular miasm. So a lot of secreting discharges, but difficult to secrete. The liver is not able to do its role properly. What does the liver do? We know that at night all the organs try to recover, and also whole night it doesn't work well. The poor function at night and the recovery which happens at night does not happen because it's not able to perform its role and take away all the penetrating substances from the outside world. And so you get morning aggravation. So this patient, their caliper gets up in the morning completely washed up. So you have cancer of the lungs, who gives you violent cough, and the lungs are also in this bad shape. Lung hemorrhage, pleural effusion, and TB hemorrhage, which is coagulated. Bright red hemoptysis. So you can use a caliper indica for cough with family history of TB, morning aggravation, and weakness. So if you get cough like that, which is retching, which is morning only mainly, because they get better in the day, and with weakness, you can use a caliper indica. The rubrics. Now I tried to find, these rubrics are given already, but I tried to find some of them for you and for me. So gloomy, of course, I didn't find. I don't know. I use only complete repertory. I didn't go to the others. So sadness was there. And I couldn't find. I tried premonition. I'm just trying to tell you what I found. Expectoration, blood, and spitting. It's very good that if we can find it in the repertory, then we can prescribe. No? Our understanding is there because of the fifth subclass and the row and the miasm. But we have to also be able to go to it from the repertory. So that is our first thing. That repertory we do the cases I think. Mucous membrane, respiratory tract, stiffness, and a tied up feeling. You know, this we did in that BSc subclass only, the tied and hide bound. The tubercular cough is retching cough. Hemoptysis of the lung, burning, this fiery tubercular miasm, burning sensation in the stomach, hemorrhage of the lung and of the rectum. I found the rubrics. Rheumatism, where there's stiffness, emotions were depressed and dejected, but don't want to die, hopeful. Sense of danger from outside, so avoid bad news. Energy in the process of stiffening. Morning, very weak in the morning. So here I'm showing you, it is quite amazing that here I've taken only this, not that this was the first remedy, but see how much it covered. That presentiment of I couldn't find. Sadness was there, blood spitting of blood was there, hemorrhage was there, weakness was there, morning weakness was there, despair was there, not dejected. I didn't find it in stiffness, I didn't find it in that danger, and I didn't find it in purulent expectoration, but I'm sure it is there in the general purulent starch. But still, to get a caliper, which we hardly would think in the repertory in so many of the rubrics, is also good. So it was the effect of the fourth row, column 5, and row is 4. Row 4 is which one? Early childhood. So we had womb, oral, anal, and early childhood. Early childhood, this is our second. Even non-film case also belongs to early childhood. So early childhood comes out much more in contact with the world, but they create a rigid barrier. So lungs with the inhalation, all the outside things, you breathe in air, it reacts. So also the liver, the digestive tract, and the skin. So they react with force, recoiling and resulting in too much fire, bleeding, burning, purulent discharging. So you have this fire, you have the red shows burning, and you have the yellow, which shows the purulent. So the PQRS is everything is worse in the morning. The hemorrhage and the vitality is completely low. Normally after sleep, we are supposed to be good in the morning. And then as the day goes by, you can become tired or whatever. It is just the opposite here. Feels very weak in the morning and gains strength as the day goes on. So that is the PQRS, which we have to remember. When we do a one-liner, there'll be so many things which are similar. you will find, because CME is one group, you'll find so much of the mind also in every of the remedies. But you have to go by this differentiation. Here it is hemorrhage, vitality, burning, weak in the morning, gain strength as it goes in the day. Okay, so that was our first remedy, Acalipha indica, where we can use it. You can use it in TB when you have that retching cough, you have the bleeding, you have the weakness, and very bad in the morning. So you can use it for TB also, right? You can use it for rectal hemorrhages, same thing, hemorrhage, morning aggravation, and very weak in the morning. So you have to have the fire, you have to know the miasm, and then of course you have to have the mind, the dejected, dull, gloomy, and feels everybody is going to attack me and being penetrated. So that kind of, we'll see in the other remedies much more of the penetration and the, the pricking and all that, which is not so much here. So here it is more weak in the morning, the hemorrhage and the TB of the lungs, the bleeding, the skin a little bit, and the liver, which doesn't function well. Our second remedy then, so this remedy is clear. Anybody can think of, I'll go back. Anybody can think of anyone they could prescribe it to. It'll be nice.
Hemorrhage is important, right?
Yeah.
Hemorrhage is important, right? To
Yeah.
prescribe this.
Yes. Hemorrhage is important. We saw everywhere there was hemorrhage. So we saw how much fire there was, how much burning there was. There was suppuration. So without that and the burning, we won't prescribe. Even though it's got TB, and then it has to have the mind of it, that he is scared, but he doesn't want to die. Very hopeful. So if you have a patient who says, I'd rather just die, please, then you not think of a cancer. You won't think of tuberculosis. And the weakness has to be. Second remedy, Crotontic. How much Crotontic we've used. But did we know so much of the mind? No, really. We give it and we get such good, wonderful results, and we all be about it. So it is cultivated mainly in India, and extracted from the seeds, and oil is extracted. And what is it called? Any idea in Hindi? Anyone? We all know it.
In what language?
Hindi. What is it called locally? Crotontic, what is it? We all know it. And we don't know it. So it is called
Jamruk.
Jamal Gota.
Oh, it looks like Jamruk. Okay, so same family.
Jamal Gota. Used as a purgative to treat constipation. It is used for detoxification. Here is your Jamal Gota. The plant is poisonous. They contain croton. Seeds are used to poison fish. And the toxicity is too much. That's why you have this severe purgative effect. And we use Crotontic so much for diarrhea. But they are used to treat the constipation after the seeds have undergone traditional Ayurvedic detoxification process with cow's milk. Then only it is used. Otherwise, it is very used like this, or of course homeopathically, when it's potentized. When it's used like this, you will get diarrhea. You won't be able to treat diarrhea. Okay, and you'll get poisoning. So Jamal Gota. I mean, everybody knows Jamal Gota, yeah? And it is a remedy in homeopathy. Emotionally, mind is very rigid and full of anxiety. It is even more than a callous. You saw there dejected depression. You saw, but I want to live. I want to still come out of it. That was that. And here it is full of anxiety, fear of insanity, because it is losing one's borders, So he thinks that something bad will happen. He suspects others, and so he wants to be left alone. He does not want to do anything. The barriers hold him back. No chance of the thought to flow out as if he's hidebound. Kansi says hidebound. So doesn't want anything to flow out. He also wants to be left alone. Keep me. I don't want anything bad to happen. I want to be alone. And he can think only of himself and nothing outside himself. Lazy, morose, grumpy. The funny part, this picture is so very representative. Accumulates his emotion in the stomach and then he explodes. Whether it is through the emotions or what we know as diarrhea. And therefore, we know it's explosive diarrhea. We always say like a tap, it comes suddenly. You can't hold it. So all that. It's now we can understand why the diarrhea is like. It's really interesting. So keeps on holding it in from fear that emotions will explode. And the fear of insanity, because the masculine energy, which to hold the boundary is still very, very weak, said Maheshkar. Boundaries are broken and then they feel completely weak and empty. So even after the diarrhea, there is complete weakness. Strength is completely gone. Opposite, what's inside stays inside. So I don't want to express my emotions. If I do, it'll all come out in a like out, like proton. Just burst out. So I better keep it all inside. Because he keeps it all inside, he's tied, restricted, and being helpless to do anything about it. And so he just wants to be left alone, because if he's touched and he's penetrated, then he'll burst. So he's trying to hold it all in. And he would rather dance, because that's another way of, getting your emotions expressed. So enjoy dancing rather than business. He doesn't want to actually attend to business. He wants to be left alone. And there's a lot of confusion in the head. Delusion animals are creeping. And the rubrics here also, here there are more rubrics which were there. Here I put some crosses where I couldn't find them. So you hear the impact is on skin, the loose motion, and the psychiatric remedy. So you have discontented, dissatisfied, that we found, like in China, Kadika, Sepia. Then illusions of bugs of creeping on the face. I found this. Dreams of murder, no, I didn't find. And fear, it causes diarrhea like gelsimim, I didn't find. Fear something will happen, yes, I found. Misfortune, I didn't find. Dissatisfied, confused, I found, not clear.
Previous slide, please.
So dreams of murder, I didn't find. Bugs creeping, I found. I found something will happen. I found discontent. So it's very, very nice to find so many rubrics, even though you didn't find. Actually, fear causing diarrhea, we should have found. So confused, creeping on the face, fear, devils are here, I didn't find. But want to dance, I found. Discontented, I found. And then fear happens, something will know. Insanity, no. Misfortune, no. Yes, anthropophobia, fear of people or hate people, I found. Suspicious, don't talk much. So here are the rubrics that I found. And it is amazing that Croton, just see Croton. I mean, here, phosphorus is 14 and Croton is 13. Dance desire to, rather than do is attend to business. Only single remedy, Croton. Discontented, delusion, imagine bugs he has. Delusion, insects on his face, crawling, single remedy. Being murdered, being, I told you, I didn't find. Diarrhea, fright, I didn't find. Happen, something will, again is there. Confusion is there. Fear, disease of, where he said something will penetrate, so I took disease. Fear, people of anthropophobia, that I found. Fear, suffocation of, I didn't find. Mistrustfulness, I found. Insanity of losing his reason, I didn't find. And best is the physical, which we are still going to discuss, but I put the rubrics here. crusts and scabs on the scalp. That is there already. So you can go to Croton like that from the rubrics. And I found vesicles, and I didn't find tinea, and I didn't find, oh, I found fear diarrhea. Okay, here, in fear. So it is wonderful to have Croton. I mean, who would think we would say explosive? Yes, even that we don't even repertorize ever. We just say explosive like a tap, yellow, and then just give the Croton, right? Now, did you ask about the mind? No, this is amazing. And where we can give this remedy for all these other things. So here, miasm here in Croton, you know, is acute, right? I showed you right in the beginning. Califa, tubercular, Croton is acute. So crusts in the scalp, eruption which are itching, ringworm, tinea, vesicles I found, was fluid diarrhea. We already know everything about diarrhea, but here is this beautiful picture where you have the bleeding also. Diarrhea comes in one sudden gush, urgent diarrhea. After eating or drinking anything that you know. Rumbling and gurgling of the abdomen, we know, like adults. Heavy diarrhea, exploding. Even thinking of the food causes diarrhea. Immediately after eating. Now, these are symptoms which you already knew and for which you prescribed for hundreds of times. Heavy diarrhea, exploding and uncontrollable. Sensation of water in the stomach, I didn't know. And we have to rush to toilet. So the key thing is fear of diarrhea is the key. And that is there. So he's always very worried about his diet, that he would get diarrhea. Mind, we are now doing each section. We've done general, we are doing the mind. Can't hold it in. Fear of emotional expression. Because it's the suppressed water element, there's a threat of wild, becoming mad, becoming insane. Anxiety, as if they let go, the emotions will explode. So they have to hold it all within. They have to be alone and not go out in the world. And so avoids going out in the world and becoming at a different level. This symptom expresses the inability to take in anything which is other. So food is also foreign, other, and is kicked out with diarrhea. Nice way of understanding. Skin, you have, again, painful bursting complaint. You saw in Acalifa, we had fiery, right? And hemorrhagic. Here you are bursting. Painful nipple of nursing mothers. Eczema alternates with diarrhea. In any of our alternating symptoms, we have eczema with diarrhea. Asthma, itch till you raw. Rust poisoning or poison ivy and O. Eczema and herpes, all this I didn't find, but it is all there. Physicals can tolerate only gentle touch, and please do not touch me. Your touch will be too harsh for me, don't touch. And widespread dermatitis in babies from vaccination. Again, it is injection, penetration. So see where all what we thought of is penetration, we have to expand our thinking. Hard cough, must sit erect. Aggravated lying down, feels as if it is suffering. Craves cold water. Vomiting also of food, gout with pinch. So emotionally we saw very anxious, very rigid mind, fear of insanity, fear of losing one's own border and therefore keeps oneself in there. Fear that something will happen, suspects the others are at fault, something they are going to do to you, so I want to be alone. I keep holding it in from fear because emotion will explode and then I will become ease. So the masculine energies. The summary is a problem of boundaries that expresses in the skin and digestive tract or of the mind. Boundaries are held tight when in contact with others. When the boundaries are breached and penetrated, the reaction is electrical. And irritation is expressed through the skin irritation, feeling of weakness, diarrhea, emptiness that leads to laziness. He doesn't want to do business, rather dance and attend to his business. Proton pig. Wow. So the difficulty in taking the initiative, which is related to the fourth row, pain as of a burst of electricity, bad is going to happen, mind is rigid, fear of insanity, fear of losing border, keeping it everything inside from fear emotions explode, and that's why you have the fear of it. So that is proton pig. So how many of us knew everything about proton pig? Somebody? Yeah? Or what did we learn new about it? Which we can use. Right? Okay. So we come to our third one. No, we'll do some cases. So cases. So cases make everything even more clearer, because so far I have not used proton pig in so much of the mental thing. So now we can think about it. So 28-year-old man with panic. Headaches as if this is sharp pain. So here you're starting the prickling. You see in the other remedies even more prickling. In the first cancer, we saw bleeding and burning. He does not work. He causes homeopath every day. He's one chitku. He had electric shocks but did not help. I feel weak in the brain. I have no courage. My brain is all cloudy. If I read too much, my forehead stiffens and craziness fills the brain. I'm all the time afraid to become insane. I'm afraid if I see two people quarreling also, I'm afraid. If anyone raises their voice, I'm afraid. I lack courage and confidence. Because in order to be brave, you have to be insane. Who can be brave? I don't have the courage. Only if you're insane, you can be brave. Noisy music, modern painting, all these are noise to him. And this makes me worry that I may become insane. When a woman passes, my urge rises. He knows that he has that urge. I feel the energy rising. Again, I'm up. That is why I suppress it. I feel like someone that has sexual desire, but his hands are tied. So I have it, but I don't use it. I keep it all inside. The fear is if he goes out into the world, his emotion will burst out and he will become insane. If he shouted at and if he reacts, he will become insane. Father was strict, stopped him going out to play as father needed him to stay at the store with him. So he was suppressed, masculine energy, father, the role, the dominating father, suppression. Whatever we have done so far, all the time harping on it, it's there in every remedy of the whole column and in every case. It is quite amazing. We had learned proton pig just like that as a remedy. Nothing of this was anywhere in our Zen. So father limited my freedom. I'm so afraid of punishment because again, if I'm punished and I don't hold it in, I will burst and I will go insane. So I'm afraid of punishment by both father and by God. Father binds my mind not to do what I want to do. So he binds it. I want to go out and play, but he says, no, be at the store. So he binds it. He's bound. Anytime he wants to go out, he has a sensation as of an electric current. Feeling everything is penetrating him. I mean, you go out, anything you look at penetrates you. So how can you go out? You can't. So he won't do business. Somebody do business, please, and feed me. Let me dance. Feeling everything penetrates. Thoughts also penetrate. After the remedy, all his anxieties. I mean, what will we do without homeopathy? Gradually reduced. His compulsive thoughts completely disappeared. He found a job, went out into the world. Previously, he was saying I was lazy, but actually, he was just hiding from the world. I was anxious. I would go crazy or ill. That is why it could not work, because otherwise, if I burst out, I will die. This is the Mahesh Gandhi case, and everything became. You should think. Another case. So you had a baby with red, itchy eruptions. In the earlier case, Khalifa, we had what? Burning, itchy red eruptions, right? Was from vaccination, there also we had vaccines. Spread all over the body, forming big red and itchy patches, used liquid. But we are not saying purulent. In a Khalifa, you had purulent, you had burning, you had redness, you had hemorrhage. The baby knew what she wanted, but was affected by the mood of not only the mother, but any person who was around. She was so sensitive, she's affected by mood. So see how much can penetrate. Mother affected her both in birth and in now. And mother, why? Because mother was torn between staying at home and going to. She felt afraid to stay locked at home. But she also described the workplace as a prison. So she was, she also probably needed the same remedy. She was torn between staying at home to look after the baby and having the baby, and she was afraid of it. So after the remedy, the skin cleared up and the mother found a part-time job. So one stone, two birds, right? So this is also Mancinella we saw, yeah? Mancinella also we had all this fear and the double thing of staying at home. But in Croton, there was no devil and dark, which is more in Mancinella. Mancinella has no diarrhea. So this is how you differentiate. So in our one-liners, we should write Croton take with the diarrhea, with the skin, fear of insanity and penetration, but no fear of devil and dark. Mancinella has no diarrhea, right? So anything else about this remedy? The case was beautiful. And you have scalp eruptions, which I showed you also in the rubrics. You want to look at the rubrics again? What do you want to do? You like it? I think Croton is nice. Yeah? Can go to the next remedy. Any questions you can ask now? Anything, thoughts, any about your remedies or which you used or anything, or you can use, or you think maybe this is the case where I'm using? Talk about it. A third remedy is euphorbium of Hinan. So it is called but later on they found it was called Euphorbia resinifera, ECY. So it's an official scourge. It's a gum euphorbium and belongs to the family Euphorbias. So it is a kind of a cactus. It's a spiky cactus like desert plant. It's a spiky cactus-like desert plant. And it secretes a resin. See the flowers. It secretes a resin, which is an eye and skin irritant. So now you have eye introduced. Earlier we had skin, Croton, we had diarrhea so much, and the mind. In the other one, we had a lot of hemorrhaging, and the bleeding, and the burning, and the weakness in the morning. Now we have the eye introduced. So it's an irritant from it. Its male and female flowers convolute together. So they don't want to be dependent on anybody, whether that one will come and pollinate me or not. So it looks like one flower, but actually many flowers. male, female, so it can pollinate itself. It contains latex, that is the main crux, which is the source for the remedy. In source was unclear in Hanuman's time, it's a Hanuman-proof remedy. And therefore later it was called Rosidea resinicum, native to Nova. See, lately 2 new steroids have been extracted, hoping to serve to uncover latent AIDS cases and health. So summary is intense emotionality, well hidden, again like proton, very susceptible to penetration. But now this penetration elicits a spasmodic, electric-like reaction meant to block the side effect. It's a very important remedy. They are sensitive and serious people. They want to be quiet. Proton, we said, wants to be left alone. Also, proton keeps the emotions well hidden. The sodium also keeps them well hidden. They want to be quiet. So does proton. Being in the 4th row, intense stimuli break through their boundary and cause spasmodic reaction like a electric shock. So the rubric is mind starting electric as breaking through boundaries. Here it is shutting the door. So I'll shut my door, I don't want you. So even when light penetrates, they shut the door and therefore their vision is bad. It's quite an amazing thing. Bad vision under strong penetrating light. Everybody has, when we are driving at night and you have this thing, we all have bad vision. But only 4 p.m. we say bad vision because of the strong penetrating. Very funny. Sensitive to cold or flashes of heat, such that clothes also borders, they seem heavy. That's Hanuman's. Lot of shock-like, electric shock-like symptoms. Violent cough with pain, like electric shock going to the temple. So many coughs have pain in the head. Somebody tells you a hole, but here they will tell you it's as if I'm getting electric shock. So stunning, which stuns you. Radiating pain in head or in the limb or in the sex organs or in the rectum. Sensitive people who suppress emotions, all of them. Proton we saw. But here it is expressed in electric light pulse. So again, you have domination by the father. The whole column has this father. Father is horrible fellow, I think. Sexual abuse by father. See? Even takes away her teddy bear. Domination and suppression. So there are much right and wrong issues. And their sexual abuse has later on produced vaginismus. So that means even from a man they like and they think they want to be with, you can get vaginismus. So in school age, we have seen school age is very prominent for all sexual abuse. That runs through all many remedies, not just this column, because school age is in all the plant kingdom. So inquisitiveness about sex is very prominent. We've seen this in so many of other remedies where the man can take advantage. The skin, there is now prickling, okay? You saw burning in a cancer, then you saw it was much different in proton. Now it is prickling. Vesicular erysipelatous eruption on the face. In proton, you saw as if something is crawling, right? Herpes, herpetic eruptions on the face and hands. Disease of the membranous tissue, the face, with burning stains and spring allergies. Ulcers, furuncles, gangrene. So we see it is much deeper now. Pain of cancer and skin cancer. Euphorbium is supposed to be almost a specific for bone burning pains of cancer. Liver and bone cancer. So liver, what there even in proton. Burning pain in bone worse when resting. Debilitating weakness from exertion. Not in the morning. Acanthia has weakness in the morning, mainly, only. This is debilitating weakness all the. It's like weakness of the sexual sphere, see, in men. But here it causes causeless erection. So you saw in Proton, he looks at the woman, he answers the urge, but he hides. Okay? Here again, it is not initiating, and also it is immature sexuality, but it is causeless erection, which may be trouble. So serious brooding, reserved people, praying. The dreams are also peculiar. Dreams of being stuck under mud, or dreams are without an ending. So dreams in the mud, again mud, it can cover you and you can keep everything inside. Weird sensation. Things are big in size, so big that he has to lift his feet high so he can step over these things. Yeah. Caesar's step is also so big. And he has a delusion that the same man was behind him, also in front of him. So these are weird sensations. He might develop OCD, religious affection, bulimia. He has a delusion of poison, shrieks at night, can get out of control, lose his mind. This is euphorbium is a very syphilitic remedy, but it's a cancer measurement. Even the teeth rot and break. But the miasm, if you see the first chart, euphorbium is in cancer. So here you have electric shock-like pain, sexual abuse, cancer pains, use euphorbium as a specific remedy. Pains are uncontrollable, worse at rest, very serious reserved patient, maybe with acute mania with symptoms of violent cerebral congestion. So much thinking, and we have to keep it all inside so it collects and corrects and melancholy, anxiety and apprehension, temporary attack of madness also. This on Proton all the time, fear of insanity. I fear I will go mad. If I let I burst, I'll go mad. If my thing bursts, stomach bursts, I go mad. So delusion sees the same man in front of me. And he insists on saying his prayers. So it irritates the skin, causing much secretion, the sense of dryness, internal burning, but not like the fire of cancer in bones at night. Burning pains can slow inflammation, blisters, gangrene. So you see, you saw earlier in Proton, it is a Parthasarathy. So it is still alert, it is still quite light. Here it is, they're going to gangrene and blisters and ulceration, they're going much deeper towards like syphilitic. So there are still also light things like hay fever and cephalosporin. Burning like fire in abdomen and stomach. This is like cancer. Griping through the whole intestinal canal, followed by thin stool. What is Proton stool? Explosive, large, yellow. Here it is thin stool with burning, itching about the rectum and much numbing. So here you have gripes, just like there you have a lot of rumbling. Here you have griping and things and burning fire in this. All these pictures are given to you, so keep them in your mind. Back and chest, pocket sensitive to. So we have so many pockets remedies. Whether we thought of before we are never aggravated rising from sitting. Normally it is when you sit and you have to put that ring around or you get very, trouble. Pressure in the muscles of the back, chest burning and sharp. So you have the calcia burning and you have the sharp pain of the whole family. So you have erysipelatous inflammation, especially on the cheek, that we saw in proton also. Biting, stinging, red, swollen. Vesicular erysipelas, we saw in proton also. Gangrene, echinacea and cecane. Ulcerative carcinoma, an epithelium of the skin. And the funny sensation, as if a thin cord lay under the skin, as if there's a cord, thick, running through the skin. So you have in Euphorbium syphilitic pains, cancer pains, burning pains, reserve person, better by cold like insecane, better by application of oil, better by lotion because he's worse at rest. And even secane for burning the aggravated sitting, aggravated rest, aggravated beginning of motion, like rust ox, aggravated mercury, touch, trigeminal neuralgia with burning, which you have to have some of these modalities. So cases. Yeah, something in the chat. Like secant. Yeah. Yeah. So second year BHMS, Dr. Rama, did you do all the mind? Did you use it after second year BHMS?
No, only for GIT and skin. Like arsenic, we used to keep it in mind. Arsenic
Yeah,
scale card,
yeah. I was so enamored by this remedy.
Yeah, differentiation with these two, like especially arsenic throat and tick was differentiated with arsalvia.
So here you have this working lady. I'm not sure whose case it is. So Emilia, own or Ayakir's, but anyways. So her husband was very dominating. And so you had vaginismus. Yeah, you saw vaginismus. That is their reaction to all domination. Abused in the past, and now the man gets near me, I barricade. What did the other fellow tell you? Shut the door. Yeah. So I have light which penetrates, I have bad vision. So now she starts, even if the husband whom she chose touches her, just touches her, it's like an electric shock. I jump. It's like an electric discharge. If she's made to laugh, this is very funny. She releases it as one big discharge. Like proton, like one big thing. And this is. So I get an orgasm from beauty. So she likes beauty, she sees beauty, she can get an orgasm. Not from touch when she feels abused. She feels like a girl having a sexual relationship with an adult. So row 4 has the theme of too early sexuality in the time of child. As a child, I was completely open to any penetration. I had no skin. So no skin. It reminds me of ranunculacy, right? Ranunculacy also begins. Ranunculacy is covered in so many of the things. It also begins there, but little bit in school age. So as a child, I was completely open to any penetration. I had no skin. And my parents, whenever they had their problem, they involved me in their problems in their bedroom. So this is where penetrated boundaries start. They don't want to know. Children don't want to know. They don't want to know your problem. They don't want to know to take a decision between who to live with. You can't put them in court and say, who do you want to live with? For them, both the parents are equal. We think, oh, the child is so mature, let's give. No, they don't want to know. Says, I want to go back to the womb. The womb gives me clear distinction between things in life. I have no problem. I want a hug so I can untangle myself. And with the remedy euphorbium, the vagina was cured, and she could even have a better relationship with her husband, and the sexual issues were not a problem. Another case. The woman finds everything penetrating her. So think of arrows all the time penetrating. in her relationship, anything her partner says or does pierces and creates havoc. His presence poisons me, she says. She feels poison. So euphorbium is prickly. Acalypha was burning. What was proton? Becomes prickly.
Bursting.
Bursting. Becomes prickly and verbally abused. So she attacks him, spitting fear, fire, and brimstone. So after one dose of euphorbium 200C, the penetrated feeling disappeared. With that, her red was calmed down and she opened to communication. So as opposed to column 1, in the 5th column, one is separate enough to be conscious. I know this thing is penetrating. In the first column, we don't know, giving you an option to react. In the first column, one is united with the abuser, which makes you helpless. This is very important. Therefore, we don't know whether he touched me. I'm not sure. Yeah, that will be column 1. That touch me when somebody asks a question and he thinks that maybe, but she can never leave the abuser. Therefore, stays together with the abuser in the first column. First column, magnolia. And here you know that what is it? You can separate, give you an option to react. Very okay. I've gone very fast. I thought, my God, 100 slides, how will I ever finish? Okay. Hura, Brazilian lenses. So how many people have used Hura? Rama, you must have used.
Yeah, I have used.
Tell me a case.
I'm still waiting. I've switched actually from Croton Tig to Hura.
Yeah. So I had a case many, many years ago. I think at least 15 years ago. Actually, we don't remember his name, so we couldn't find the case. But I remember he was studying in LCH and he came to me and he was very down, no confidence, no nothing at all. He said, my girlfriend just suddenly left me. I feel I'm nothing, I'm nobody. You know, that whole feeling that you are no one. Hura belongs to which miasm?
Leprosy.
So it is leprous miasm. So you feel you are nothing, nobody. And we gave him Hura and he did very well. In fact, he came back some years later. He had got married. He had started practice. So he did very well. And he didn't even need much repetition. So it was a very good case. So I can remember only using 1, 2, 3 times Hura. So it is a para-rubber tree. See, even euphorbium, we said latex. Now here also something like para-rubber tree, and family we know is Rosidea. About the tree, it is native to Amazon rainforest. When injured, the bark exudes an unpleasant sour odor, milky white sap known as latex. But here the latex is really felt much stronger. It is of major economic importance because it's a primary source of natural life. The remedy, of course, that affects the skin, and thus the image is reflected outside also. It has eczema, because it has all external things, psoriasis, urticaria, even leprosy. So skin ailments in Hura are more serious than the allergies we saw earlier. We also saw an euphorbium getting. So the remedy is related to the boundaries in relations. Since Hura is latex rubber, these people often experience love as a feeling like an elastic pump, like a rubber band. So the further the partner is, the more they try to pull in or her to back. And when the rubber band snaps, then it is a disaster they can't get over ever. unless they get a heal. So once that rubber band, we are trying to pull them back. Those people are pulling in front. Finally, the rubber band had to snap. The problems related to separating, to the passage from parental love to loving the other. The remedy allows one to separate, that is, leave the family and create one's own, or from adult aspect, to come to terms with the child leaving home, loving freedom and ability to move. So, this remedy we must think of in mothers who can't let their sons go. In fact, I'm thinking of bringing it to one patient who 6 months she was agonizing. The son will leave to study, son will leave to study. How will I do without him? He's such a good son. So with this terrible fear of
In fact, that is the exact reason why I switched to Hura.
So what is the
her adult son, she was just not able to, she kept thinking, oh, the fear that he will become like his father, very cruel and strict and dominating. And this was a lawyer who didn't practice for fear. And then had such a terrible skin disease. I don't remember what the exact diagnosis is, but it looks like, I mean, you don't want to even look at her a second time. It's that bad. So it's just the 3 times that she's come. So the 3rd time I've just given her the Hura.
Very good. So in relationship, they stick like rubber. So in the beginning, it's okay, but afterwards, everybody doesn't want to be glued. Meeting the other creates tension, contracting, and sudden tearing. So it may be after death of a loved one, and never being able to get over it because he was stuck to them like glue, or because they felt that he went away and he left me and he rejected me. They don't think of it as death. They think of it as abandonment or being unloved or being rejected. Flow of sad thoughts. Imagine herself lost and alone, rejected by family or friends. Feels going to lose someone dear to her. Loving everybody, but the love is a little twisted. Look at the love. Moral feeling want of, perversity, sexual perversity also in the picture. The mind and emotions are split apart, not rightfully connected. Emotions are twisted. So whether it's sexual perversity or possessiveness or holding on to the son or not letting, maybe we can even think of it. I had a case where the wife said she comes and sits in our room. What are we to do? She wants to go out with us. She wants to come on a holiday with us. We are just on honeymoon. So that much. Skin expresses these relationships and boundary issues. Skin feels very tight, irritated, and sensitive to. So in extreme cases, you may have vitiligo or skin covered with vesicles. Leprosy has also been cured with Hura, where the sensation was of tight skin. White spots on skin for vitiligo, psoriasis, like a doctor allergic to latex rubber, hospital glove. In fact, I had one patient, they came only once. We must chase them back and say, did she get over it? Because the father had come saying she's studying medicine, what will happen to her? But I don't know why they gave up, but maybe we can find and go back to them and do. So much limb pain, joints and skin around it. Feeling is here, the peculiar feeling is splinter stuck under the nail of the big toe. So we normally have big toe and we give ledum or something in gout. But if it is a splinter stuck, we should think. Red vesicle on joints and at places where the bones protrude and stretch. So here, the main thing is about stretching. We saw burning, we saw bursting, we saw prickling, We're saying check. So spasmodic occipital headache, extreme hellish. I can't bear the pain in it. Painful stiffness of lower back. Can't bend down, everything is tight. And everything is about to explode. Explode is a common thing. We saw it in proton. Exploding diarrhea, exploding emotion. Even a laugh like explode. Tightening can be resolved by spasm, frightening spasm with stomach, accompanied by diarrhea and tremor, making one scream. So in proton, you don't have this, right? You don't have the tremor or making one scream, which is not there in proton. Diarrhea, then everything. In Manzanella, you don't have diarrhea. So that's how we differentiate. Biting and sense of contraction at the end. Excited and oppressed as if by some misfortune. So at the same thing, one cries and one laughs. Causeless weeping followed by laughter. Suddenly switches. Laughing followed by chilling. So all these alternating states, if we ever get it, there's a full rubric in the repertoire about alternating states we can really use. Laughing from every paroxysm of who laughs? Every paroxysm of pain brings laughing. So peculiar. Flow of sad thoughts. Imagine she will lose someone very dear to her. Thinks I'm about to lose a friend. Everything is very exaggerated. Even the consciousness is very irritable, indisposed to work. We saw that in proton. Don't want to work, wants to dance. But here it is irritable. So fear of fever and of going to bed because it may die. Fever may get it. Weeping with singing, weeping with laughing, and very peculiar. This is really peculiar. Illusion despise. Alone in the world, just like Kalpita. That's so different. Illusion floating in the air. Depression. Isolated feeling. Losing somebody close to them. Feels I've lost affection of all my friends. No, there's a rubric saying has confidence, no confidence in him, and all his friends also have lost all confidence. Face is weary, as if after a debauchery. So no debauchery was there, but feels like it, with rings and the dull and dark. Pain in the uterus as if compressed, as if a sharp injection has been given. And for male, there are intolerable erections. Over there, we just saw an erection, causeless, okay? But here it is intolerable. So it gets worse with each. Intolerable erections, emerald green with erection, lemon-colored semen. Normally, semen is white or creamy, lemon. And weight in the testicle when good. Large pimples, painful to touch. Cluster of pimples or vesicles on the red vesicular skin leprosy, hide bound, and tense vesicle. See, this vesicle also looks very tense. Pain needs ascending stairs, thickness, sexual code, and peculiar is one is warm and the other is cold. Okay. So here we've seen in 4 remedies, we have seen that it gets worse and worse, the skin comes. Some started with just erysipelas and became worse. Then you have this, and you have depression, and so on. So we will see some cases. Lot of cases. A young man with urticaria worsens and gets hot, physically or emotionally. So isolated, that leprosy feeling has to come. So it stopped him from having intimate relationships, though he had lot of sexual erections which are really strong. His muscles feel weak and the joints are hot and pain. He finds it hard to make decisions. Confusion is there in all the way. Procrastination is there in all the way. Some don't work at all. Hard to make decisions, so he's stuck. He has fear of accidents and of snakes. Fears talking to an audience, and his job is that. So how will he talk to an audience? He has to, that's his job. Feels then stuck. I had a CEO once, not that I gave him Mira, but I had a CEO once. His CEO, he had anxiety before every board meeting on, and especially when he has to talk to an audience. Anxiety there is about his family and very obsessive in everything. So OCD is very difficulty in breaking off. We saw elastic, it can't break off. Breaking off from his girlfriend, even though he wants to set, and very stuck. He calls his therapist 3-4 times a day. And each time for different reasons, so I guess he can't separate. So Vita Rosenberg says the remedy allowed him to separate both from the girlfriend and the therapist and the other. That's one case. Case 2 of Bon Granot. 52-year-old man married to a therapist. I carry with me a childhood trauma that is with me all the time. So how much we can harm our children? When we look around us and we see mothers so much hardworking, fathers doing so much for their children. I mean, I don't know whether in India, but we don't see so much in our patients, so much abuse. I don't know. It is related to my relation with my father. My father was very violent, both verbally and physically. For every small thing, he beat me. Non-supportive, offensive, emotionally suppressed. He always humiliated. My mother got pregnant with me and then he left her for business. So when he came back, the child was already born. And he was sure that I was not his. It was really, and that's how he stayed all the time. I experienced his rejection and abuse since childhood. It was stamped on him. He would say, in this house, you're worthless. You're a complete nothing. You're a stupid idiot. I mean, if you say this often enough, even a very well-balanced, intelligent person can turn an idiot. I always say the husband can really mar a wife if he is bent on doing so. Every day you call her an idiot, unless she leaves him, she'll become an idiot. Or if you're married to an idiot. I remember I had a grand uncle who was, actually it was very funny because my grandfather was supposed to, I never met him, but he was supposed to have been a very intelligent man, set up all this business. And he had a younger brother, much younger. And it was quite, I saw him a lot. He was quite not fully there, right? And my grandmother, so when she married, she brought up this fellow. And when he got married, they got her married to a nice, intelligent, very nice woman. But being with this idiot, he became also a little idiotic. But the man was so compliant, what treated him, but I'm just telling you all the story, that he would give him something, he wouldn't know what to do with it. So she would say, "Acha, just put it down over there." Or she would say, "Okay, now you can just sit down." I mean, he didn't know what to do with himself or with his hand. It was horrible. But they still lived their whole life and they died at some 70, 80 years. Anyway, there was even a time when the family moved to a different city and this child was handed over to a foster family for some time. So means so rejected. The family moved. Why should they give him to the foster family? Because of my so low self-image, always panic. And I always was anxious from thoughts that are out of mandate. Whatever my father told me to do, if they were different from that, and if the thoughts were daring or to get forward in life, he would think this is wrong, this is wrong. And his self-image was so bad. That's a lovely picture, no? I can't believe that someone like me can succeed. At times, my anxieties are so powerful, my bed moves, the pictures fall off the walls. Can you just imagine? And this, he's married to a therapist. When I started going out with this woman I'm married to at present, he asked himself, what right do I have to get married? Because I'm nobody, I'm so low. How can I even, think that I can be worthy of this woman? How will I be able to be a breadwinner? What right do I have to bring children into this world? My children will be horrible children, like monsters. I will be monster children. So low image. Any opposition makes me feel anxious. I feel ostracized and closed. I have no self. I feel the contempt or imagine the contempt from others. I feel guilty. I feel worthless. That I need to apologize that I even exist. So the woman would have done a lot not to get married to him. Made him feel better. I always feel I need to please others. I feel at the sidelines of life, it's very tiring because I have to please others. I have to do what they want, wearing down. Yeah. My difficulties are the cellular level, very deep. Always with me, that stamp is there of rejection. It can't go. I get this. I fear losing control over my body and becoming impotent. Words also disappear from my face. I'm splintered. On the one hand, I feel like crap and unworthy. But on the other, I know that I have some special qualities and I do greatly appreciate it. So that's how this woman saw that side of it. My lack of confidence when I was a student made me super ambitious. I ended up receiving an honor for excellence. So when you work very hard, you can overcome anything, yes? But you can't overcome what has been stamped and stuff. Unless you get the homeopathic medicine here. Nowadays, and then they try to outdo themselves, right? I perform the most difficult meditation. I shower in cold water even in winter. I push myself to the limit when I exercise. So they have to keep proving every minute that they are not so bad. Yeah, I can shower in cold water. I can do much exercise more than anything. So if I can do that, then I'm at least worth.
Ma'am, would this be a direct correlation to the feeling of dirtiness within?
Yeah, complete dirtiness, and therefore you have complete lowness, complete feeling of being nobody. I am nobody. How do I deserve this woman? And so I have to work very hard to show that yes, I can do this. Who can have cold water bath in winter? Nobody can. So I must be something. So you have to constantly, that pressure of constantly proving to yourself that I am okay, kind of, must be so great. Must be terrible. So he got URAT 10M. After 3 months, he said, I feel calm, peace, quiet. Even when I am lecturing in front of him, I feel special calmness, not typical. Much more open and sure of myself. My childhood trauma does not seem so traumatic anymore. It is quite amazing. I think it's quite amazing that we can do all of this and we don't do it all the time. I wish we could do it all the time. We don't find our remedies. That's why we have to keep studying and keep studying. Even though people say, oh, I never studied after college. So we have to study. So I accept myself now for what I am. I don't care what sort of impression I make. I mean, imagine he's become like a normal person. He's forgotten that stamp, it's gone. Which we said never go, that stamp which the father put, and we made him say, you are an idiot, you are nothing, you'll never become anything, for which he excelled and tried to excel and work. But even that was not enough. Only the Hura. I feel a considerable improvement, all the complaints I came to. So unless we get these kind of results, we should not rest. We should be able to do it. And we have to keep working at it. And then finally we'll reach there. Okay? So one last case 3 of dear Grand George. This was that one case. The doctor suffering from psoriasis. Now just see. He wanted to study homeopathy, but had to quit because the head of the department did not authorize his leave to study homeopathy. And he always does what the ruling father dictates. So he had no mind of his own. The ruling father said, no, study homeopathy, he can't study homeopathy. As a child, he was covered with eczema due to vaccination. Now his mother, this was not a rejected child, but it was too protected. His mother lost her previous son and was in great anxiety not to lose him. So she was so anxious, he received all vaccinations, which ultimately brought on this eczema. So that is the story. So it is too much protection. You're not allowed to go out, not accept. Do this, don't do that, don't wish your throat care. So again, rather, the Hura, you keep them completely tied up. So till the Hura went, the eczema went, he couldn't, and his mother also would have become better. By giving him Hura, how the mother becomes better, we don't know. But it does happen. So those are our cases. And Ramadinavahi, you must be having some case of Hura.
No, ma'am. No, Hura, no.
But we can all think of somebody we can give Hura to.
Yeah.
So we should all come back. All of you now, by now, we have, you know how many remedies we have done? You have any idea?
I mean, only now Eupherbialis are coming before also. I mean, before those other families also. Malphigialis and all.
Yeah. So we have done in just this 3-4 months, we have done 59 remedies. 59 remedies. So I think
No, madam, it must be more than that because till before this,
we said 47.
yeah,
And then after that, we did 12 of Malphiges. And this is 4 today. So today 61.
That's what.
So 61 remedies.
47, remember. Later on, thoda,
Yeah, 15, then 12, then 14, and then.
Yeah, right.
So I've written it down somewhere, I thought.
And one more thing, ma, after, see, in 3 months to cover many medicine, you manage very well.
4 months. 4 months.
4
March
months,
is
sorry.
almost ending.
4 months. Yeah, this is going to be over. So in this 4 months, so many medicine, 61 medicine.
She had eaten dinner
Right?
and it fell off her home.
Somebody was saying
And
something.
they grabbed the banana and then
Who's talking?
oh,
Talking. Please put off your.
yeah.
So I was just thinking that next time this group has very few remedies. So we'll finish this group next time. And then once we should divide all the remedies in our one-liner study. What do
Yeah,
you
I think you should revise now because this is the first few rows, no? And they're very close to each other. It's very tough sometimes. Confusion is very high.
So since we have some time, I did a few one-liners. Okay, so here just written Rosedale 15, Maytales 14, Fabels 12, and Nancy James 12, Fabels 18, 12, and now before BSc 4 we've done. Which we can do the one-liners for this. We've done this. This Nancy Gears, inner stage, holding on, difficult to attain autonomy, failure, self-doubt, self-approach, early childhood. So
No,
play.
Share the screen.
Hmm?
Share the screen. We
Oh,
can't.
sorry. Yeah. Okay.
Rama is the host. Ma, we can't see the screen.
You can't see it. Okay, I haven't shared it. Sorry,
Thank you.
Okay. So in this is Nancy here. It was we saw rows 3 and 4. So it was the anal and early childhood. What we did today is only early childhood. So we had in that we have anal stage where we have to control and difficult to attain autonomy, failure, self-doubt, self-reproach. Early childhood play, curiosity, so sexual appeal, penetration, OCD. OCD is there in all this, so we should be able to treat all OCD. Initiative versus being stuck, so paralysis. A delicate ego turns rigid, hardening, joints, jaws, organs, parts falling off. This is the general. Then we did Bani C, which was that shaman remedy. So laughter gave very dark also, adopted. So there is a sensitivity, abuse, cannot trust the family, and as if he's alone. Dreams of trauma or death or failure, drained sexual energy, impotency. It is there, here it is drained sexual energy. Today's what we saw was contained sexual energy. Means he won't allow it to come out and can't make connection. So he has
Beautiful. That differentiation is so good, so important.
So here we have seen us that they live in two worlds, like a CIOs. And nausea, narcotic, antihelmintic. We saw toothache better by kicking, and it's a whole and not a soul. We saw drug, alcoholism, and addiction. Many of the remedies can be used. In Carita papaya, we saw heart, kidney, sexuality, skin, allergy. Female is very low sex, and because it's coming to the end of family. And lots of problem in birthing. Colorful sexual dreams, restless sleep, heart is like a band. Hair is also light also penetrate. Light is also the other. Today we saw in program, food is like the other. So allergy with eosinophil house. Another is a threat I can call. Lot of trouble in the world, so why do anything? Canca papaya folia, we have seen for splenomegaly, low platelet count, almost as specific. Damiana, sex important, give mother tincture 20 of ED. Very easily discourage emasculated, sensitive to criticism, and failure. Shaul Mogura, we saw it was just a leprosy specific and syphilitic state of the skin. Geranium mat, we saw feminine is less, so fluids are leaving because of bleeding. And Akalfia, we also saw bleeding, and also saw lung, but it was hemorrhage of lung, skin, and of sweat. Here it is long kidney mucus recti. Excess secretion with foul. Here also you have diarrhea, but not explosive. Issue to hold on or when to let. So row 3 is over retention and attachment already. Then we will see poor erection but import. Penis fall. Women poor libido. So we must differentiate it very much from today's women. They were all not that vain. Women with poor libido, fluids are leaving, bleeding, copious urine, cough, diarrhea, piles. Aversion to work. All of them have aversion to work, mainly because they don't want to go out in the world. Depression and vertigo, the head is put up. Paralysis of the tongue. Retania, we know, parasite latches onto roots of other things. So it's a syphilitic remedy. And we all know it for pipes. Now this group I really like because so many of the remedies we are using, but we're only using part of it. Anal last sensation. And rigid, anxiety is about the family, and stress aggravates. Fear alone, not done anything exactly. So unlike Magnesi, which is persecuted, here you have dreams of the dead persons and of babies. Fees puta elongate. Seneca, your slight injury which causes milky caustic discharge. Here also you have latex which can be milky and but very rubbery. Sticks. So this sticking takes away, this group differentiates it from. Here you have eye paralysis. Mind begins with glee and then hurt and then rage and fury and argues and so on. Today's remedies, we saw no argument, no quarrel, only want to keep within themselves. Here also you have violent explosive cough, but nobody laughs like, see, on pain. Sex is violent or weak. Worse from sound. Today also we saw that everything penetrates, even music is like life, is like attack. While odorata, you're cutting, stabbing, piercing pain, and said, don't disturb me. Violet color, beauty, block the smell. And violet tricolor, you have recoiling. And the tricolor, so you have depression in the day and, joyous, cheerful in the evening. Loss of taste and appetite, and the focus is on urinary tract and medicine. Passiflora, which we use just for sleep, it's like carcinosin, very responsible, and that exhausts. So worry because of sleepless thoughts, and it is used for drug addiction, used for opium and alcohol withdrawal, screaming, you saw in debilitation, like chamomilla. But chamomilla and senna, you have to differentiate. I found one very nice way is chamomilla wants to be carried, and senna, I just had a patient, and they don't touch me. Tell the mother, go, go, go. And we saw that, and we said, oh, this is senna. And we gave one. So these I haven't yet done, but you saw here I did. So emotional, intense, hidden, very sensitive and serious, wants to be quiet. I told you shutting the door, dreams are stuck in the mud, the electric shock. And bone burning is a specific. So here it is burning pains and flickering with debility, and we saw, in a cancer we saw morning activity. with weakness and the cough. In Proton, of course, we know all of that. And in Cura, you have the latex. The skin is tight and you hold on. Leprosy, eczema, psoriasis, more serious than allergy. Have a hole, but when it breaks, they feel injected. Splinter in the toe and lasts with pain. Yeah. So
Very nice. Very nice. Thank you so much.
So we understood today's remedies are very different from the other previous. This is very much able to do it, but not doing because they are hiding and want to keep to themselves so that they don't get penalized. Today's remedies I really enjoyed making. Thank you very much for all of you for being
For
here.
euphorbianum, we have to remember Sikalkar. Then that becomes,
Yes.
I think, little more. Yeah.
Cold, yeah.
Yeah. So at the
Okay.
local
Yeah.
symptoms, yeah.
Correct.
Skin
And also
cancer
for
and
gangrene.
gangrenous, yeah.
Yeah, ma'am, can we use euphorbium for pemphigus also with that gangrenous pemphigus?
Pemphigus, yeah, where there is a bullous eruptions, yeah.
And with that darkening necrotic tissue surrounding it,
Yes,
Yes, yes.
yeah.
because CKL has not worked.
Okay.
It's
Then I
burning
think,
ही नहीं है उतना.
uh-huh.
But extremely
bu-
sensitive person, extremely sensitive,
Oh,
and doesn't want to show his emotions. So I think this is more suited.
Very suitable, very suitable.
Where-
Anyone who doesn't want to show emotion doesn't talk about
Yeah, doesn't talk at all. In fact, he clams up the minute his brother walks into the consulting room. He just keeps quiet completely.
Yeah.
euphorbianum, yeah.
So Mital, I hope you got something for your issue to write about. That is good.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so that was good fun. I really enjoyed. And any of your use, we just share, okay? I use it. Our group being nice and cohesive, let us just share a lot. Okay?
And ricinus also comes under euphorbialis. Ricinus,
Yes.
yeah, that we missed to mention, I believe, yeah.
No.
So this is ricinus. Did we mention?
Yes, I will do it next time.
Okay.
I think so. 1 minute. That two, there were 2 slides because I put the Shankran slide, those 2 other slides disappeared.
Okay.
I had taken one whole slide of all of them.
Manzanilla
It's Manzanilla
ke
is
baad?
there. Yes, it is there.
There, okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12
Okay.
remedies in the group. And in Shankran's chart, there are
9, 10,
1,
11,
2,
12,
3,
yeah.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Only 8 in Shankran. I put the whole thing, but while inserting this, which I did last minute, those 2
Yeah.
somehow got erased.
Okay.
So proton tick we know is acute. Typhoid we know Manzanilla, right? Hopeful. Tuberculosis is positive, fiery and all that. That is acanthia. And then we had euphorbianum, which was cancer. Cura, which is leprosy. Stilinga, which is syphilis, we'll do next time. And we'll do other ricinus. We're going to do 4 more remedies next time.
Yeah, 2 more remedies are there, yeah.
And Manzanilla we'll do again. Ricinus will do. Stilinga will do. Jatropia will do.
Jatrup, yeah.
Please, these 4.
A few more remedies. 4 remedies are remaining.
Yeah. And after that, 4 remedies, we'll see how many. If we have cases now, if we can get 1 or 2 cases, real life cases, will be even nice.
I think ricinus might have been used by many, I believe.
No, I have never used it in.
Okay.
Stilinga.
For increasing milk, right? In lactating.
Yeah.
Getting mothers, yeah.
That's usually mother tincture, no? We use it.
Yeah, usually even I used in mother tincture only.
Rama, have you got results with it? I have never got. I've tried it a couple of
Not
times.
much, but there seems to be improvement because though I prescribed, I do see some improvement. If not a very clear-cut improvement, but it does help.
Okay.
Very
maybe
initially,
potency.
if we are giving, no, very initially, then it helps.
Correct. After a couple of months, then it's very tough.
Yeah,
Ma'am-
it's very tough.
Ma'am,
Initially,
we have used in CHS. This
I
recipe.
find Parthasarathy, one of the lakhs, very useful for milk.
Yes, lakhs
Thank you
come
so much.
clear.
So much I've given for increasing milk. I haven't had any failures. Actually.
Ma'am, we have used in CHS.
In
CHS. This in the 200 potency, but
oh, okay. Just write it on the chat, please. I don't understand. And then after that, after this we have sapin days, which was again very interesting. Very interesting. So we have a lot of, in this whole column, we have a lot of remedies we use and we don't know, so much. Okay. Thank you very much. Anything else? Any questions? You have to all admire Fatima for all her pictures. Huh?
Thank you, ma'am.
And Biba for all her questions. It's very good.
Thank you, ma'am. I really enjoy and I don't know. I feel like I'm again student and someone is teaching me. If that feeling comes, no, you catch up very fast.
Yeah, it's very good.
Thank you, Dr. Viba. Thank you, Dr. Fatima. And of course, thanks to you, Dr. Vishpala.
After Dr. Rama and Dr. Rama, there are
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Rama.
yeah, there are two Ramas. So I told once, madam, those two Ramas are really two queens of this.
Very
Our webinar. Ma'am is the king, but two queens and both the Ramas. अरे मुझे थोड़ा clap तो करो इतना अच्छा करो.
I clapped. Okay. Thank you and bye. I
Bye.
hope you're all getting your recording if you all want and everything. So
Thank you
please,
so much.
yeah, please share cases. Please share this work with other people. Talk to them about it and let's so.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.